Well, it turns out that one of the heirs to the Anheuser-Busch legacy comes out and says,
No, God!
well, my ancestors would have rolled in their graves had he slapped transmentalism
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Budlights for us.
on a can. And of course, right afterwards, he got cut out of the will.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
That I'm kidding on, but that would not surprise me.
He ain't lying.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is what's next. Good day, y'all. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing well today on this Wednesday. Budweiser. Bud Light. They've been going through a kind of a rough patch lately. Over the last several months, they're not feeling too hot. Things happen, ebbs and flows and, layoffs and brand sell-offs and things of that nature. Why? Because you wanted to get in bed with the alphabet people. You wanted to be a member of the Burger King Kids Club. One of the cool kids. One of the ass kissers. Wow. You made your bed. And now you got to lie in it. Remember that? But a silver lining of this is that one of the heirs to the Anheuser-Busch legacy comes out and says, yeah, my ancestors would have rolled in their graves and this bullshit about transmentalism on a can. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Anheuser-Busch heirs' ancestors would have rolled in their graves over Dylan Mulvaney. Yes, now he's overseas selling himself for $40,000 a pop to speak bullshit. Wow. Billy Busch, an heir to the Anheuser-Busch beer empire, said that his ancestors would have rolled in their graves over Bud Light's recent decision to partner with transmentalism. Busch weighed in on the controversy in an interview with TMZ, adding that his great-grandfather, Adolphus Busch, would have never approved of partnering with Dylan Mulvaney. I think my family, my ancestors would have rolled in their graves, Busch said. They believed that sort of thing was a very personal issue. They love this country because it was a free country and people are allowed to do what they want. But it was never meant to be on a beer can and never meant to be pushed in people's faces. Busch said that a type of customer who would drink a Bud Light are common folk who work hard every day, who do not want political messaging shoved in their faces. I think people who drink beer, they're just your common folk. I think there are blue-collar workers who go to work every day and work hard every day. The last thing they want is down their throat is to be shoved down their throat, shall I say, to be drinking beer can with this kind of messaging on it. And I just don't think it's what they're looking for. They want their beer to be truly American, truly patriotic, as always been. Truly America's beer, which Bud Light was and is not any longer. When TMZ Harvey Levin attempted to paint backlash against Bud Light as prejudice on par with hating blacks, Jews, and even gays, Busch said, yeah, you know what? That bullshit. Absolutely, it's prejudice. Levin said, look, I remember my dad telling me a story that there were bars in LA who used to have signs and saying, no dogs, no Jews. So there's been a history of prejudice in this country. People get over certain things. It happened to Jews. It happens to black people. It's happening to gays. And it's happening to trans. So to me, it's absolutely prejudice. Busch said he ultimately believed that people's sexual preferences should be private and have no place in advertising. Breitbart News reported repeatedly, Bud Light has been hemorrhaging business since Dylan Mulvaney's controversy, forcing the company to lay off hundreds of workers. Quote, while we never take these decisions lightly, we want to ensure that the organization continues to be set for future long-term success. Anheuser-Busch Chief Executive Brendan Whitworth said in a written statement. Yeah, same Whitworth who not apologized for stupidity in putting this asswipe on a can. These corporate structures changes will enable our teams to focus on what we do best, brewing great beer for everyone. Really. And speaking of, we go to this, Blaze Media. Anheuser-Busch is selling off beer brands as Bud Light catastrophe continues. Yes, as they continue to crater, they're now selling off certain brands. Wow. The parent company of Bud Light is selling off several beer brands as the transgender public relations catastrophe drags on. Get it? Drags? Yeah. On Tuesday, Tilray Brands, a cannabis company, yes, a weed company said it reached an agreement with Anheuser-Busch to purchase 8 craft beverage brands, including Shock Top, Blue Point, Breckenridge Brewery, Red Hook Brewery, and Highball Energy. The 8 brands represent less than 1% of the company's craft beer's assets and represent the company's less stellar performing assets, so they say, according to Benji Steinman, editor of Beer Marketing Insights. Anheuser-Busch reported a drop 10% sales in the U.S. in the second quarter, attributed to much of that steep drop to Bud Light sales after conservative declared a boycott against the brand. Sales to the U.S. retailers dropped by 14% in the second quarter, while U.S. sales wholesalers fell by 15%. The PR nightmare began when transgender TikTok influencer Dylan Transmentalism posted an Instagram partnership with Budlight to publicize its March Madness campaign. Critics lambasted the beer brand, and then the cratering began. But then again, who's paying attention? Oh, we are. Also, let me note that with the hundreds of layoffs and the selling off of these beer brands, and of course they'll say, well, it only represents 1%. These are craft beers that really didn't do well. So before Dylan Mulvaney, you would have never sold these. You would have never laid these people off. But because of your stupidity and idiocy, this is what happens. And now you're ranked number 14 and falling in the country because of this stupidity. But of course, I said that on several videos prior. But for one of the heirs of the legacy of Anheuser-Busch, Billy Busch, to come out and basically say, yeah, you know what? This shit should have never been advertised. This shit should have been kept privately, which means this shit should have stayed in the fucking closet. Now, he may have not said it, but the implication is there, and I don't have a problem with it. Now, when you have Levine, I think I'm mispronouncing the last name, from TMZ, the founder of TMZ, come out and says, well, it's prejudice. It's the same with Jews, blacks, it's just prejudice. We can't have that prejudice. Bush is like, no, it's different. Transmentalism is different. It is different because it's all in the mind. It's not physical. You're not born with it. You're born stupid because of it. But you're not born with it in the technical sense, like you are Jewish or being black or being Hispanic. But this is the kind of nonsense that you're going to get. And I'm sure there has been pushback against Billy Busch. How dare you? Ooh, we're going to cut you out of the will. We're going to cancel you. Now, the whole cutting out of the will thing may seem outrageous. But in this day of cancellations, that would not surprise me. But good for Billy Busch. Good for Billy Busch in saying my ancestors would never tolerate this shit. This shit would never even came up in the conversation. So, good for him. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.